Thank you, Michael. The Swedish-American Chamber of Commerce is truly grateful that city sponsors the Green Summit in this way this year too. So thank you, it means a lot. Okay, members and friends, have you ever heard about an American suffragette by the name of Mary Lees? I don't feel bad if you haven't, because neither had I before I start research food in a pill. The whole thing goes back more than 100 years in time. It was at the time of the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. The American Press Association invited a lot of prominent writers from all fields of life and industry to write what they thought life would be like 100 years from then. In 1993, and according to Mary Elizabeth Lees, she wrote that by then, humans would only eat synthetic food, liberating women from the drudgery of the kitchen. This was not a nutritional statement, this was a political statement by a feminist. But in the early 1900s, people seriously started to worry about the food for the planet, because at that time, relatively speaking, there was a population explosion. And in popular media at the time, 1920s and 1930s, the future of the food pill was a reality to many writers. And then, as I was researching the whole thing, I came across a musical which ran here in this city in 1930 called Just Imagine. This is about a guy who went into a coma for 50 years, and he woke up in a very weird New York City in 1980, where people only were known by numbers, for instance. We've done away with names. He found a whole bunch of new friends, and they took him to a restaurant, and they served him, they ordered him a meal of clam chowder, roast beef, beets, asparagus, pie, and coffee, all served in one pill. They talked him into swallowing the pill, and this is supposed to be a funny part of this musical, because he declared that the dinner was okay, but the roast beef was a little tough. So despite instant coffee, astronaut food, vitamin pills, what have you, people still prefer the real thing. Case in point, I read about a women's club in Missouri that held a dinner called the Year 2000 Dinner. And they served a variety of meal pills, tutti frutti pills, a brown pill for the meat course, a miniature chocolate pellet for the dessert, and the ladies exclaimed to the media who was covering the whole event that they had had a lovely dinner, food of the future. And media left, and they all sat down and had plates of sandwiches and coffee. So, subtitling today's Green Summit, Exploring the Secret of the Three-Course Pill, is of course done tongue-in-cheek. But our 30-plus speakers, the panelists, experts, learned people we're going to have here today, they are going to explore the future of food. And could very well likely be crickets and worms and algae, as many say. And last night at the preceding dinner, many of you heard say that I did sample some of this to prepare for today. I ate algae salad. It was delicious. I learned that the black wrapping of my favorite sushi roll is algae, dried and pressed. And I told you that in Florida, where I have my winter quarters, we have something called the palm weevil. The palm weevil is a nasty little critter that destroys our palm trees if you don't stop it. So I managed to obtain palm beetle larvae. They're about the size of half a pinky. 70% of them is pure fat and lots of nutrients, but because it's 70% fat, you don't even need butter to fry them, and they turn out crispy and delicious, like small scallops on a salad, for instance. And as I saw some people in the audience last night agree that, yeah, we did eat that worm in the tequila bottle when we were at college, so you know what I'm talking about. In fact, there are 1,462 edible species of insects in the world. And for 2 billion people, that is a natural staple of their daily diet. And I also told you that one of the contenders for the Green Award actually served the jury delicious baked goods made from cricket flour. They grow crickets en masse, they roast them, they grind them up, and they get a very protein-rich flour. And pancakes is first on the list now when they come to the United States, or I should say pancake mix. They say there's going to be 9 billion people on this earth in the year 2050. And from that cricket flour alone, we could get all the protein we need. So we are certainly looking at different ways of sustaining our bodies. So why I'm saying all this, and why is the theme of today the future of food? Well, to paraphrase, we can't go on eating like this. Every second year, the World Wildlife Foundation published something called the Living Planet Reports. And the 2016 publication that just came out shows that Swedes, me, are currently living a lifestyle that would require the equivalent of 4 Earths to sustain. 4.2 to be precise. I hate to say it, but Sweden ranks up there among the worst countries in the world when it comes to our consumption footprint on the earth. And the single largest part of that footprint, 1/3, is food. And that means approximately 1.5 Earths to sustain what we're doing today. And America is no better. Food production is our absolute largest industry. It's bigger than the automotive industry, the movie industry, the technology industry, and the oil and gas industry, employing 4 million plus people. So again, we just can't go on eating like this, depleting our water sources, producing clouds of methane gas, just so we can stick a Big Mac or a T-bone steak in our pie hole. But you'll hear much more about that from the expert and learned person that I will be here on the stage very soon. And I'm thrilled to announce that our Consul General here in New York, Leif Pagrotsky, has agreed to chair the session this morning, and I want to thank you, Leif, for taking time out of your busy schedule to do that. And finally, it goes without saying that an event like this would not have been possible without the support of generous sponsors. We have already mentioned Citi, thank you again. We have our platinum sponsor, Deloitte, which is also our partner in the SACC New York Deloitte Green Award. We have the corporations, Axel Johnson, SEB, Unilever, and Örebro University. Thank you all, and please, let's have a warm applause for the people making this possible. And in your programs, you also have this little note. There are individuals and corporations who have generously sponsored students of this area to come here and listen, and do it without paying the fee, the entrance, the participation fee. So I want to thank these sponsors too. Thanks again. Now, we're late. I was the one who kept you waiting. I got stuck with my driver behind the food of yesterday, a garbage truck through Greenwich Village. But we're here. Leif, let's get the show on the road.